Welcome to another episode of the Dealmaking Podcast. This is the place to be if you want to learn how to make your money grow with real estate. And, when we started the podcast, we started with just me talking about real estate strategies, best practices. Last season, we were talking to the agents and the team in the office. This season, we're going to be focusing on the people who are involved in the deals that are happening. And so it's my pleasure today. I'm here with Abraham and Isaac Santana, co-owners of Imagine Graphics and also the Una Mas Taproom that just opened up here in Merced. And I'm excited to welcome them to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dan. Appreciate that, man. Happy to be here.
All right, and in true taproom fashion, we just cracked open a couple of beers.
Yeah.
So tell me about, what do we have on tap here? What are we drinking?
What are you drinking?
I think I have a Dark Wolf.
Yeah, you got a Dark Wolf. It's brewery out of Clovis.
Yeah. Okay.
Crown Wolf. That was originally named Dark Horse.
Yeah, it was a Dark Horse, and then they rebranded a Dark Wolf to stick with the Crown Wolf theme.
Okay.
And it's specifically a boysenberry and vanilla seltzer.
Got it. Mm-hmm. Okay, very cool. And what do you guys have?
I have Bike Dog. This is a milk stout. So think about, chocolate and chocolate milk and dark chocolate flavors.
Okay.
Coffee. So that's what it tastes like.
Interesting in
Stouts.
a beer. Okay.
Yeah.
And then what do you have, Isaac?
I have Grains of Wrath Frosthammer. It's
Okay.
a lager, German-style lager.
Okay.
And I know Grains of Wrath is out of, I think they're out of Florida. So kind of cool to have them in Merced.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
You better be right on that, man. You're going to get people fact-checking you.
Nah, they're out of Florida. Absolutely. I know that. All
Well,
right.
now I got some. Now I want to try them. So I know what I'm going to try the next time that I'm in here.
For sure.
And you guys are dangerously close to my office, so I could walk over and not have to worry about driving.
Yeah.
But congratulations on opening up the tap room. Right now we're at the beginning of January, and you guys opened up end of December. And so congratulations. I'm just curious to know, where did the idea from the tap room come from?
Take it away.
Man, that's a great question. Thank you for the congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks be to God that this happened, this opened. The idea of the tap room, I think it started maybe 2.5 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know if you recall us reaching out and saying, "Hey, Dan, we have an idea of this specific kind of genre of food and taps." And so 2 years ago, my brother and I have always been into craft beer. Alongside a couple of good buddies of ours, we would always just sit down and have good conversations over craft beer. And then it really took off once we got involved with the Man Up Opportunity Foundation, which hosts events like Pizza and Pints, Burgers and Brews. And so just seeing the magnitude of people that would come out of these events obviously showed us a niche for craft beer.
How long have those events been going on for?
It's funny because my boss, Doug Fletch, started that with another guy back in 2018.
Something
pre-COVID.
Okay.
And then COVID happened, and then it died down. And then our good buddy Josh Fletch moved back, and we're like, "Hey, dude, we should totally get this going again."
Okay.
And so, we, started doing it, and I feel like we added some other characteristics to the event and kind of made it our own now.
Okay. Very cool. So, it's all kind of a blur since COVID. And I didn't realize it had been going on for that long. But I think, and I know I definitely didn't go to one of the first ones. But I feel like it was probably about that time is when I started, maybe attended the first one.
Yeah.
Or went to, had the opportunity to go for the first time. And so, that makes sense. And then it really seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very much a family business.
Absolutely.
I know your dad, Hector.
Yeah.
And then I got a chance to meet Ramon.
Yeah.
The other day at the opening.
Yeah.
And so, who's involved from the family? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, obviously, mom and dad, both
Okay.
Hector and Emma, my brother and I, his wife. She's been ahead of the kitchen.
Got
Kind
it.
of put together our menu
Okay.
for the appetizers that we offer on the weekends.
We only publicly say that though if people think that the food is good. If the food is not good, we don't say it's my wife.
It's a vendor.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and then from there, obviously, our Uncle Ramon has been helping us serving beer.
Okay.
But it's
Your
just
wife.
been, yeah, my wife's been
Come
a
around.
backbone for me to be here.
Yeah.
Being at home with the kids is not easy. So everyone's just been supportive.
You'll see the kids around here
everyone.
too
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. Yeah, you
Yeah.
got to have the support of your spouse. Without that, it's challenging. And then, the couple times I've been in here, I've noticed, it not only is it run by a family, but it's also very family friendly.
Yeah.
And was that kind of the idea behind it when you guys first started kicking around the idea?
100%. Yeah, I think the rule of thumb that my brother and I always had was if we can't take our wife with us somewhere, it's going to be tough to get that permission slip signed. So we're like, let's create something,
Yeah.
where everyone can come.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you had the idea about 2.5 years ago. After you had the idea, so what happened after that? What happened next?
Oh man, I feel like Clayton Kershaw was pitching because we just kept striking out on opportunities, man.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But thanks be to God for that as well. But how many opportunities do we strike out on?
At least 3,
I want to say 3.
2 to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I was talking to my wife Victoria earlier, and we were thinking back, and I know a lot of people they see things happen outside. The sign goes up, and then you eventually open it up, and you come in here, and you kind of, if you're from the outside looking in, you just kind of see it's like the place opens up and appears.
The final product.
You see the final product,
Yeah,
exactly.
right.
Yeah, but you don't see all the, the thinking, the dreaming, the planning, all the offers that, that were put out, and the 2.5 years that came before the final product.
Yeah.
And so, did it go exactly how you thought it was going to go, or did you think it would take this long, or, be this challenging to open up the doors?
I'll speak for myself first.
Okay.
I personally think that the location wasn't exactly what I had envisioned.
Got it. Okay. What were you thinking of location-wise?
I don't know. I didn't think this
Yeah.
would be it.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was going to be, but I didn't think that this was going to be it.
Okay.
But I'm actually really thankful that it happened the way it happened. Because this location's just awesome, you know, in the center of everything. So really thankful for that. And in terms of the work that needs to be done to open, I think that the process was actually better than what I anticipated.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and we're really grateful to the city.
Yeah.
We had a smooth transition, so shout out to all of them that worked with us, from the city manager to the building officials to the inspectors. Everyone was really great to work with. And so if you're thinking about coming to Merced and investing, I actually highly recommend it.
Yeah. Your process was smoother than most, and so because I've had the opportunity to be involved with quite a few businesses that have opened up here, and I was really impressed with the speed and how you were able to move your project along. So what tips or best practices, what would you say to someone who's trying to open up here? What would you tell them to do so that they could open up speedily?
I think you got a good answer for that.
Man, what would I tell them to do? Well, pick a general contractor that's really going to be active.
Contractors important.
So,
Absolutely.
Shout out to State Pro Builders, the Portillo family. They were incredible to work with.
Nice.
He's very involved on the emails. So anytime that we would get corrections that need to be made from the city, I wouldn't have to reach out to them to, hey, did you check this? Did you check that? They were on it.
That was State Pro, you said?
State Pro Builders, yeah.
Okay, very good.
And then a cousin of ours does design and drafting, so he actually helped us submit the plans and get them stamped and what needs to be done. And he was also very helpful. And then us as owners just being all on the same team, in sync and checking our emails like consistently. Because if you let your emails go for a week, 2 days, 3 days, whatever the case may be, you're going to see that they actually responded to you and you just never followed up. So just be active on that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so contractor, engineer, and then the business owner, just making sure you're on top of things.
100%.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And be cooperative too with the city. I mean, if you need further clarification of things, don't be afraid to ask them. Because each time we asked, boom, we got a call or an email from them clarifying what we, were missing.
That's great. And it sounds like from your experience with the city, they were good to work with. And
they were fantastic from the get-go.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah. 100%.
That's great to hear. Okay. Very cool. I know it's only been, because you guys have been open maybe less than 30 days.
Yeah, it's been maybe a
we
week and 2 days?
January 2nd was our official
January
opening
2nd.
date. Yeah.
Okay. So short sample size for, the amount of time that you've been open, but how's the experience been running a tap room? Is it kind of what you thought it was going to be, or is it a lot different, or what's been your experience as an operator?
I think it's been great. At first, maybe we had our reservations or we're a little nervous, but it's been fun. Just putting the draft list together, seeing people just sample different beers, and even just complimenting the draft list itself. Has been fun. Yeah.
Got it.
I mean, I'm putting a lot of hours in, but I think it's been worth it.
Yeah. So when you say a lot of hours, like, how late are you guys staying open when you're open? And then what does the morning look like, and kind of what does the day-to-day look like here?
Day-to-day. So right now we're going Monday through Thursday. We're going 3:30 to 8:30.
Okay.
And then Friday, Saturday, we're doing noon to 10:30. And then Sunday, 1 to 7. At least on the weekends, the mornings, there is prep because we do open up our kitchen around 3 p.m.
Got it.
But the weekdays, it's mainly just cleaning, making sure our gas tanks are filled, whether it's carbon dioxide or nitrogen.
Got it.
And then making sure we have enough beer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And being clean. We want to keep this place clean and known to be a clean place where people feel welcome. And
Yeah, that makes a difference. Very good. Yeah, and then you have a solid team with all the family that's involved, and so I'm sure
got a
that's
really good
that's
team,
helpful.
actually.
Yeah.
There's 3 of our employees / I'd consider them friends that work with us that are not family, but they are employees of Imagine Graphics.
Okay.
But man, they're just hustlers and just here to help in whatever way they can.
Yeah.
So thanks be to God, we have a good team that's easy to, keep things organized or under control to some extent. We still got a lot to improve on, but I feel like we're on the right direction.
That's great. Yeah, it sounds like from even before you opened, having a good team, your contractor, your engineer, and then good communication was helpful to move you through, all the planning phase.
Right.
And then now that you guys are open, you have another team in place, and between the Imagine Graphics and family, you guys have a good support, and things are going good.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And so as you're kind of thinking about, now that you're open, 2026 is here. So what's next for you guys, and what are you guys planning for this next year?
I don't know. Obviously enjoy the moment and, perfect our craft and what we do currently. Ultimate goal or short-term goal is to install a full kitchen inside of this kitchen, like our hood and Ansel system and everything. yeah, we got some surprises that we want to cook up in there. And then long-term goal, we got some visions as well for this place that we're excited.
Do you think, will the kitchen come in 2026, or do you think that's more later on down the road?
Say maybe 27,
Okay.
right? God
Yeah, I
willing.
would give it about a year.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
Isaac, how about you? What do you have planned, and what are you thinking about when you think about 2026?
Yeah, well, just picking back on what Abraham said, just
Okay.
perfecting our craft, making sure that our day-to-day operations run a little smoother, continue to be on the same page, a lot of communication. But in terms of, adding the kitchen would be huge for us.
Yeah.
I think so. Maybe even expanding our liquor license.
Oh, very good.
Whether it's to incorporate wine
Okay.
is another thing that we've been debating
Okay.
and seeing what we can offer in that regard. But yeah.
And right now you have, is it the 40 alcohol license?
Yeah, it's 40.
And then 40
type
allows for, it's definitely beer.
It's beer only, and
Okay.
then we can have minors on premises as long
Got
as
it.
we
Okay.
sell some sort of snack.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all those things sound amazing. You guys are in a great location. I think over the last week we've been in here a couple of times.
Yeah.
One of the times we went to get dinner, and then we popped out across the street and we're like, let's go pop in and grab a drink. The other time we went to the movies, and then we were like, I think it was before, the thought was, let's pop in and grab a drink.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, this 400 block, it's a great location because you're around everything.
Yeah.
And how's that been working out for you guys location-wise?
It's been fantastic.
Couldn't
Yeah.
complain, man.
Yeah.
I couldn't ask for more.
Yeah.
I still remember the time that I texted you. I think it was in February, when I texted you on a random Saturday because my
Yeah.
wife and I were walking around, and I said, "Hey, what's going on with this place?" And then you're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, it's actually up for sale and whatnot." But yeah, this location is just prime, man.
Yeah, it's funny, I remember that. So that was a Saturday, and then, I remember you asked me about this location,
Yeah.
and I was like, well, it's funny you ask. And I had a bunch of pictures in my phone, and I was like, here's the building, here's what's going on. I'd been talking to the owner for a couple of weeks at that point, and so I knew he would be open to a sale.
Yeah.
And then, so yeah, why don't you talk a little bit about that? Because I know that was February is when that. Okay, so that was almost a year ago, and then so tell me about that. What after you saw the property, and then we started talking about it. So what was the thought after you started exploring this location?
Man, so saw the property. I think it was late February or early March. It was when Una Cafecito had just opened.
Okay.
So my wife and I really wanted to come and check it out.
So were you walking around?
I was
checking out?
walking around,
Oh,
and
got
her
it.
and I
Okay.
noticed how much people were walking downtown because it was like a sunny day.
Got it.
Finally, we had gotten some sun.
Okay.
And she then went to go grab a sandwich at Lover's Deli. And so I just kept walking this way, and we had already been in contact for about a year and a half at that point of looking for space. Saw this space, texted you. Then you told me, it's up for sale. And then from then on, it was kind of just getting together with my brother and then my dad, and then kind of putting all our chips together and seeing, hey, is this really a possibility? And if it is a possibility, how are we going to go about it, and what are we going to do?
Okay. All right, so I have a follow-up question for that. All right, so then we started to look at the space. I think maybe a couple days later or within the next week, we came to actually go inside and look at it. It looked a little bit different than it looks today. And so when you first looked at it, what were your thoughts, and kind of what was the conversation between the family?
Bro, we thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, we thought it was great. We saw the potential.
Yeah.
I
You
think.
saw past the condition.
For sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you thought, hey, I see what this could be. Is that kind of what you guys were thinking?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And then, so then we negotiated. We went back and forth quite a bit. Eventually, we got it under contract. And then we were getting ready to close. And the day before we were going to close, what happened?
Electrical box. Someone had pulled some wires and messed up the box. I believe it was the night before. Yeah, it was the night before Christmas.
Yeah. That was, when was that? So
I think it was the night before, like, everything closing.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
So, so we're ready to close escrow.
Yeah.
Somebody steals the copper wiring out of the panel. And then I think I was going to Hola Cafecito to get a coffee in the morning, and I got the call, and I was like, let me go by and take a look. And so I went by. There were quite a few challenges we had to work through to get this thing closed. So I remember going back, and I was like, what am I going to see? You know, what here's another thing, you know, we gotta figure out what are we going to do with this. How are we going to solve this problem? Thankfully, it wasn't too bad, and we were able to work through it. But I think that was probably, you know, at that point, we had overcome so many challenges. It was just one other thing.
Just another thing.
Yeah. And then, so then we closed escrow, and then walk us through what were some of the renovations, because this was not like a, you know, minor, you know, touch up here and there. Like there was a lot that you guys, you know, did to the place. So tell us a little bit about that.
More than anything, a lot of cosmetic stuff. Yeah. You know, touching up the walls with some texture, really bringing it to life, painting, putting a stain on the already exposed
ceiling.
Yes, roof or ceiling. Repainting the HVAC because it was all beat up. Adding some new tile to stuff. So I think the hardest part was kind of just picking a style we wanted to go with, right?
Right.
Like I would say that just seeing the vision of what we wanted to execute on is probably the hardest part. Once that was done, though, little by little, we started doing little things.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I don't know if a lot of people know this, but some of these buildings in downtown Merced, they have a basement. And there used to be tunnels that would connect the buildings together and go to different places. And if you go into some of the buildings in downtown, you know, some of those have basements, and you can see where the tunnels have been covered. And you guys have a basement. And so tell me about your basement.
There's not much to it.
Just low.
Did you open up the tunnels?
No, I didn't open up the tunnels. We finally got so there was already existing bulbs there, but that weren't functioning, so we just replaced the bulbs. I remember the first time we went down there, it was dark as hell down there, and it was scary.
Yeah.
So now we got the bulbs to work, and so now you can kind of see it all the way through, which is kind of cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And then it's used for, is it storage or?
Storage.
Yeah, strictly storage.
Nice. All right, so we're going to bring it home in a second. Is there anything else you guys want to say to anyone watching or listening? What's the message to the community? Or, you know, think about people who are maybe thinking about starting their own business or opening up their own location. What are some of the, you know, words of wisdom, or what would you like to say to people who are listening?
Wow.
I'll let you go first.
That's a loaded question. I mean, number one, everyone that's come out so far and supported us it's been awesome. We got nothing but thank you for them for coming out and supporting. For those that still haven't come out, come out, enjoy a beer. We've tried to create a safe space for everyone to come out and just relax, hang out with your family, have a great conversation over a nice beer. That's what I want to put out there for everyone.
Come by and have a beer.
Come by, have a beer, and have a good time.
Very cool.
Yeah, man, like Isaac said, there's a lot to that. thanks be to God for the opportunity to be here and to be part of this community. We're very thankful for everyone that, like I said, works at the city, the realtors involved, the seller, the community that's given us a good, response. We continue to ask you guys to come give us a shot. If you're not into beer, there's non-alcoholic beverages as well. And then for those that are contemplating going into something, I think I would just tell them to go all in. I think it's, once you're in it, you're like, man, I'm in deep. Mm-hmm. But you're already in it, so you might as well just go all the way. Mm-hmm. Commit to it and trust God that everything's going to be okay, because with hard work and execution, it'll be okay.
That's awesome. Go for it. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very cool. And and what are the hours now? Are you guys kind of expanding to open every day, or certain days, certain hours? When if someone wanted to pop by, when's a good time to pop by?
Yeah, Monday through. No, closed on Mondays.
We're
contemplating.
We're contemplating closing Mondays.
Everything else, though.
Everything else Tuesday through Sunday. Anytime.
Very cool.
But between 3:30 and 8:30 Tuesday through Thursday, Friday, Saturday noon to 10:30 p.m. Maybe 11, and then Sundays 1 to 7.
Nice.
We'll be here for you.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll definitely be back, probably later this week. And thank you for allowing us to be a part of your success. And thanks for taking time to talk with us and share today. And we're looking forward to seeing what you guys do in 2026 and in the future. So thanks again, and congratulations on the new tap room.
Thank you, Dan. Thanks for
having
your
us.
role in this as well.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
That's a wrap.